Married with Benefits. We are happy to be up here with you today. This is a beautiful day out here in
Yes,
the
it
great
is.
city of Indianapolis. You know, some folks call it nap time, you know, but it's
I
a
just say
great day.
Indy.
Huh?
I just say Indy.
You just say Indy?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the whole nap.
I don't like
time
nap
thing.
town either because, you know, we got to deal with
That's
out here
because,
anyway.
yeah, that's because you're from D.C.
No.
Chocolate City.
But you know,
Chocolate
we're happy to be here. We happy to be here on up here on Facebook with y'all. We're having a watch party. We on Radio Wave for you. Glory to glory to Jesus. You know, and so we thank God for y'all being and checking us out. And our prayer is that we bless you in your marriage, as well as for if you're looking to get married, you know,
Right,
because sometimes
right.
you need some help on the way to marriage, you know,
You
because
know, sometimes you do.
yeah, especially when you
Ooh,
got some
all the
challenging
time.
folks like you. But no, I'm just kidding. No, you
Oh.
cool. You know, you were
Ooh,
pretty.
shots fired.
But no, you were
Shots
always
fired.
pretty laid back. You know,
Yeah.
you wasn't high maintenance. You know, I
No.
thank God for that. You wasn't a high maintenance woman.
Right.
Just wasn't high maintenance all the
You
time.
came out real blessed, bro.
Yeah, you know, I
You
mean,
can't say
hey,
that
but
about everybody.
yeah.
Everybody ain't blessed.
You didn't have. You had to worry about child support with me though.
And I
So
thank
that's
God.
good, you know. So,
I thank God.
but you was not then, and you're not now. You're not a
Thank
high
you.
maintenance woman, and so
I
that's
told him
real
to say
good.
those things, y'all.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say
Very
good
good,
stuff. I
very
gotta
good.
make my 9 p.m. right. You know,
Don't go there.
yeah, if you act right at 9 a.m., you can have a good time at 9 p.m.
Yes.
So, but we are pastors of Global Harvest
Anywho.
Christian Church, and we right now with everything going on, we are having our Sunday morning service at the office.
Yes.
55 South State Ave on the third floor in the auditorium, where we can't get a lot of people in there. The faithful few come, and the faithful core come, the staff, the remnant come, and then a guest or two and everything, because we're not really just blasting it out for everybody
Right.
to come, because we want everybody to be distanced safely.
Right.
Since we're not in Windsor Village no more,
Right.
they had summer camp, y'all, and then they said they had doing rentals, and we had to figure out something
Yeah.
different. So we're at 55 South State
Try
Ave
not
on
to
the
be
third
bitter.
floor in the auditorium on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock. And but other than that, we come on Facebook on
Yes.
11 every Sunday morning. And then what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start putting our 11 a.m. service on YouTube. Directly after church, and so
Right.
you can get it on YouTube, and all you got to do is go to on YouTube is like we just put GHCC Indy,
Yeah.
and check us out on YouTube. Subscribe
it
to the
simple.
Paul and Tara Thompson Ministries page. Subscribe to GHCC Indy page on YouTube.
Right.
That's the church's page, and so we put everything up. I try to put everything up there for the church, and I try to put everything up there for Paul and Tara Thompson Ministries that we do, and so that you can stay connected, and stay connected with us on Facebook with Global Harvest Christian Church, and that way you can know what's going on, because we're moving and transitioning right now.
Yes.
So make sure you
Things
check
going
us
on.
out. Check out our website and GHCC Indy at Gmail. GHCC Indy. What is it? .org, and just connect. Paul and Tara Thompson on Facebook, and just connect and be connected with us, and I believe we'll bless you real good.
I know
And
we will.
and yeah, I believe we got something to say after 25
believe.
years. We're about to be in
If it's
26
not-
years.
yes,
Really,
we
actually,
are.
it's 26 years. You might as well say now,
Yeah, it
because in
felt like
August the 6th,
26.
it'll be 26 years of marriage. And
Yes.
and so stay connected with us, and always don't forget to make sure you stay tuned and stay hip and in on
Stay
Radio Wave. I meant to say something else, but
Yeah.
I was looking at a word and it messed me up.
Stop
But
reading my stuff over here.
but
Look at your
but
old book.
but yeah, I'm old. You say stay hip. That's
Yeah,
when you
you
get that's when
telling
you get
your
up a
age,
certain
brother,
age.
you
Stay
telling.
hip. But stay tuned, and make sure you stay tuned to all the good things that's
Oh,
going
you
on
laugh.
Radio Wave here.
Yes.
And if you're looking at us on Facebook with the watch party, if you're looking at us up there, don't forget also to download the Radio Wave for You app.
That's right.
And that way
yes.
you can not only hear us, but you can also hear a lot of other good music and a lot of other good people that come on Radio Wave for You.
Yes.
And so you can go to your app store and go up there and go to Radio Wave for you.
Yes.
Isn't it a capital R?
Yes, a capital R and radio, then a space, then a capital W and wave, and then no more spaces, the number 4 and a capital U.
Yeah.
So when you put it in like that, it's real easy to find. And but listen, we've got a contest going, and we need you all help us win this contest.
Please help us. Help us, please.
Help us, please.
There was a guy, you remember that guy, Ferguson? We was in Columbus, Ohio, and you know, we live in the Green W, the Green W. We live in the Green Double. You know, when y'all come up here, don't come off. Stay up here and listen to us. They're going. Listen, I got some good stories
Just
to
wait
tell you.
until I
You know,
start talking.
no.
It's
You
better.
remember? No, they got to hear this. Ferg, you know, because I said, help me, please.
Yes.
Because Ferguson, he would come. He was alcoholic though,
Yeah.
but I forget how he got.
I don't know what
he got
Ferguson
hooked up.
was.
He was knocking on doors to ask. You know, he'd be like, I can rake your leaves for $5. You know. Folks,
Ferguson
you know,
would do like anything.
He'll move your whole house for $10. And man, I'm telling you, and
You can call
everything.
for Ferguson. Come beat my children for me. I feel like
Ferguson,
doing
boy,
it. Let's go.
He was
He would do
the
anything for
neighborhood.
$1.
I'm
There was
telling
no
you.
job too small.
Nope, and no pay too
And,
small.
yeah.
Just give him something.
Yeah.
I'll just help, whatever you give me, it's be fine.
Yeah.
And so one day, I guess he was really going through and needed a fix, and he was jonesing or whatever, maybe going through withdrawal. I don't know, but he knocked on the door and he says, and he was asking us, you know, could we help him out? And he says, can you help me? Can you help me, please? Please help me out, please. And so I just thought that was real funny.
You remember Ferguson stole those sodas and then tried to sell us the sodas?
Yeah,
We was
steal
like,
the
"We ain't
sodas and
drinking
sell them
out
back
of
to us. What in the
we
world?
We ain't gonna drink out of those cans.
No.
And we didn't know about COVID-19.
No.
No, we just gave them the money. You keep the sodas,
Yeah,
Ferguson.
keep the sodas and go by your
Sell them
way.
to somebody else. Here, take
But the
$1.
whole story came because we want you to help us, please.
Help us, please. Now, this is a contest. I need you to write this down, put it in your phone, do something. But take down this email, and we need you to email to Radio Wave for You. It can be all lowercase, but remember the number 4. RadioWaveForYou@gmail.com. And in the subject area, put married with benefits, or you can put the Thompsons, or, you know, just let them know I'm listening to the Thompsons. I listen to the Thompsons, and put your phone number. That's what we got. That's what we said. That's right.
The message.
All right, in the message. Yep. So put that in there and email it. Send it out, and help us win this contest. Because my husband is very competitive and he doesn't like to lose, and I don't feel like hearing about it when no, I'm playing. But no, what I said about he's very competitive and doesn't like, that's very true. We don't play at our house. We've had a long sabbatical on game night for a while because people got tired of playing stuff with him because he's overly competitive, and he used to make the children play until he won. And I mean, we couldn't stop playing. Yeah,
I was the Uno king.
And he didn't say Uno. He said, "I'm the
Uno king."
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Uno king.
I still have my
I'm
throne.
having flashbacks. Just think about it. But yes, we didn't like to play at church when we played games. You have to watch it because he would push seniors down.
No,
He would
come
move
on now.
children. He would bump people out of the way when you're playing musical chairs. I got witnesses.
It wasn't. It was just
now
a
he trying to
badly
fix it.
time. We just we was just trying to sit at the same time. That's all. And
Right.
everything.
Thus, we have the whole game of
Well-
musical chairs.
Well, they was trying to bump me, but they just couldn't. But no. But so that's what they got to do. You already told them what to do, right?
Yes.
Y'all do that and everything and help us win.
Tell somebody else. Share it.
We
Share
want to be
this with
winners.
somebody.
Help us. Last week we talked about conflict in
yes.
marriage, because just like in
We do
life,
like a month
in
of
marriage, you're gonna have conflicts, man.
Yes, you
You're
will.
gonna have some conflict, and it's something you actually you can avoid it, but you can't avoid it because it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
It's just naturally. It's just life is set up for you to have
Yeah,
conflict
yeah,
almost.
yeah.
It's just set up that way.
It
and
is.
so we talked about dealing with that conflict in marriage, because that conflict wants to really come against and tear your marriage apart,
Right.
and get you growing away from each other instead of together. See,
yes.
as a marriage, it's important in a marriage. It's important that you grow together as well. Now, hear me now. As Bishop Tyson say, listen to me.
Oh, he was up here earlier.
but it's important. It's important for you to make sure you grow also individually, because not only do you need to grow in your marriage, together in marriage, but you need to grow individually also.
Yes.
And so it's important. And so when it comes down to that, conflict piece, is going to happen.
Right.
And conflict actually can help you mature a little bit.
Yeah.
It can help. It's not necessarily always will help, but it can help you mature some. Because in conflict, sometimes you can find out what you need to do different.
Ooh.
In conflict, you can find out, and it's
You
according to
learned
how
a lot of what
stubborn
to
you
do
are.
different, didn't you?
Huh? I did what?
I said you learned a lot of what to do differently, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, and it took some while for me to do it.
Yes.
It took a while because we get real stubborn, and that's something that we want to hit later maybe. But we get to the place to where we just want to be right and be on that thing, and we don't want to change.
Yeah, I know.
And so it took a while. I'm not gonna lie. I tell my children, man, just do what I do now, and you'll be good. Act like I act now with certain stuff, and you don't have to worry about acting like I used to act or acting like the bad. But yet they gotta learn. But I learned through time. 25 years will teach you. Now, like I said, our 26th year anniversary is going to be this August the 6th, and you learn things. And it took time because sometimes we had the same argument, the same conflict, the same thing. We would be at it about the same thing over and over again. And sometimes you can tell when that you're going to have conflict because at a certain season, at a certain time. It's like, you know it. And certain things you all were aware that, oh, man, this going on. You may be having an attitude.
Yeah.
And there were certain
It's
things.
one of those days.
It was certain things there's people's point, their little pressure point, their little
That's
areas
true.
that get them going. And you personally got to grow beyond that.
Right.
As well as knowing how somebody is during a time of doing Christmas, doing Thanksgiving, doing visiting family, then you got to know how to work with that person to help them through it sometimes, even in marriage, because we want to just be like, get over it, be done with it. But sometimes we do need your help sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
And so we do have to know how to complement and work with one another because conflict is coming to try to steal the unity and the growth out of our marriage.
That's in any relationship. That's in a household. That's in a family. That's with co-workers. I always believe anything that is that you can look at where it's like teamwork or where unity is required, and in anything where there's more than one person, you're going to need some unity because you have at least two different wills, if not more wills, coming together. And let's face it, everybody thinks they're right.
Yeah.
And you should think you're right.
Yeah.
That didn't mean for you to say nothing about that. No, because he does always. He does think he's right a lot.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
I'm right too.
That's what the argument is all about. Two people thinking they're right most of the time.
Right.
Most of the time, that's what it is.
Yes.
But that conflict is coming to try to just steal your unity in your marriage.
And where it messes up that unity.
Because everybody that's seeing it now or hearing it now, and everybody that will see it and will hear it, you're not married. But some of you are getting married. Some of you been divorced. And it's a shame to get divorced and then get married again, and then you still acting the same way you act after you got divorced. Some of you need to stop the cycle. And even before you get married, you got to learn how to deal with tough times and conflict with other people. So it's not only when you marry. Some of you all wanting to get married, looking to get married. You got some Christian ladies out there that's looking for their what they call Boaz to come. You got some brothers that's looking for their Ruth and everything. You're looking for that man to come to find you. You're looking to find that woman, and in the midst of it all, you got to know how to deal with stuff personally. Conflict in your life. But I think the biggest conflict we deal with, period, is inner conflict.
Oh, I think so. I really think so, because you can turn around and, you can have problems on the inside of you, and it can seem so real to you that it actually is coming from, it seems like it's coming from another person, like rejection, but it's self-rejection. And then, therefore, you always perceive it to be from everybody else.
That no matter what they say,
good enough.
Yeah.
But really, that's how you feel.
Yeah.
And you start, thinking that it's coming from other people, and it's you. And so, you've got to, you have to deal the
inner conflict.
You got to deal with yourself before you try to get somebody else to deal with you.
Because you're your worst enemy.
Yes, you are.
I'm not your worst enemy. You're your worst enemy.
Yeah.
I remember I was listening to, I think it was Bishop Jakes that was saying it, we're talking about intimacy, talking about intimacy type of thing.
Yeah, intimacy.
But because you got to know how to deal with yourself. You got to know how. You got to be able to deal with you. And a lot of times, a lot of us don't like to deal with ourselves. We don't like to. We don't like this. We don't like what go on in our life. We don't like that stuff because straight up, there's a lot of people that don't like quiet. They don't like silence.
I was just gonna say that.
They don't like to be quiet
because they have to
it
hear
leave
their
them
own
alone.
thoughts.
Yeah, with their thoughts, and their thoughts are just thinking about a bunch of stuff that don't give them peace.
Right.
That they have a lot of issues going on, and you got to deal with that inner conflict. If you got inner conflict, put it like this: as long as you have inner conflict that you don't resolve, you're gonna always have outer conflict.
Right.
Because you're gonna project what's in you on other people. You're gonna do that all the time. So you got to deal with your insecurities. You got to deal with your stuff like that, because one of the things I'll say this: one of the conflicts that people have a lot in life is that they don't know their purpose while they're born. They have no direction, and they're going aimlessly. Right. And then when you hook two people up like that in marriage, that's a disaster going to happen.
Yes.
Or if you find somebody that's a go-getter and that got their head on their shoulders right, your head on their shoulders right,
yeah, you
and
put
they're
it in
going
the right place.
and
That
they're
was
going
good.
forth, and then you put them with a person that's aimless, that's just like just going, all they doing is living life and going by the way with no goals, with no purpose. That's still gonna cause a collision.
Yeah.
And so it's important before you get married, and especially while you're married, to have some direction. And so, because sometimes when you have direction and when you know where you want to go and know what you want to get done, sometimes you will work on stuff and develop stuff because you don't want nothing to hinder the progress. You stop. For instance, if you're trying to build something or work on something, certain times because that's really you really have some stuff that you're looking for. We want to do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna work on this. This is our goal here. And when you have those goals and you really have a desire to go at them, when something is hindering you toward that goal, you can be like, hold on, let me get this thing right. And so when you have inner conflict of a purposeless life and no direction, and you feel like you just void and you just don't have no meaning. You get those people in life sometimes. They be like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on with me right now. I don't understand. What's going on, And you have people, people will say, I got to find myself. Well, where you at?
Did you lose?
How you
last
lose
see
yourself? I got to find myself.
Where were you the last time you saw you?
And I'm like, people say stuff like that, and you understand what they're saying,
right?
But that's nothing but a tool of the enemy to try to get you off focus and to try to really and to try to really get you a place to insecurity. Yeah. And so it's important that we deal with the inner conflict, but it's important that we work on resolving that thing. And one of the things we want to deal with today is other than coming out of that conflict, when it comes down to that conflict of being aimless, of purposeless, of just no direction, that messes up the unity, can mess up the unity in your marriage.
Right.
Because it's important to be united for real in marriage, be a united front. You got to be a united front when you marry. You have to be united. It's
those
important.
Children and the family. You better be united.
Yeah, conflict.
So you can't afford to have your unity tampered with or messed up. Always think about it like anytime that we were believing for something, that was a way. I was very cooperative because I'm like, look, I can't afford to not get what it is I'm believing for. We need these bills paid. So you know what? I'll be wrong right about now. I don't feel like fussing or arguing because we believe in God for the rent, and we would, it'll keep you on your toes to quickly, resolve conflict and to not let stuff linger, because you don't want to mess up the unity. Yeah. Because where the unity is messed up, then other things are not going to flow like they need to.
You got to work on that stuff. You got to work on that with that, because it's true. Whenever we had a crisis or something that we really needed to happen, Whenever there was tension, you'd be like, okay, let me resolve this, because this tension is going to it's going to hinder what we're trying to get done. It's going to mess it up. It's going to prolong it, and so let's get this thing right. And sometimes you just have to get to a place to where you just get to a place where you say, you know what, okay, let's just take a time out, let's stop, and let's just go by our way. I remember, I can't get off of this stuff here because I got to hit this one, because I was always the type of person that when I'm mad at you, I'm supposed to be mad at you, and I'm supposed to show it in everything I do.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Y'all get that? So okay.
Pray for him now.
So you get upset. I get upset, and all of a sudden, because I'm upset, I got to be upset with everything. So I'm not gonna be nice about everything. So I got to show in everything. So all of a sudden, I'm not gonna say goodnight to you. I don't feel like saying goodnight.
Right.
I'm gonna walk out the house. I'm not gonna say bye. I'll see you later. I'm not gonna do what I normally do because I'm angry. I'm upset. And so that's how it would be. And so but then my wife would be angry, or we'll be in conflict, and she'll still say stuff like, okay, good night. She'll still say, okay, I'm gone. She'll still be courteous. Now they used to tick me off, trying to be courteous.
Yeah.
She'd be all courteous and all, still be nice in the midst of it. And she's
nice
like,
person,
she like, I mean, just because we are having an argument or a disagreement, that don't mean you got to be mean or got to be or got to be spiteful.
Right. But that's not the way you felt about it.
But no, because I was like, I'm mad at you. I don't feel like being nice.
Why am I going to be nice?
Yeah, and so I learned, and I am learning even more that just because you at odds, you don't have to be You don't have to be rude.
Right.
You don't have to be mean. You can be upset at each other and say, okay, you know what? We ain't get this resolved. Good night. But it takes some temperance.
Yeah, it does.
It takes some temperance and some want to do that thing.
A lot of want to.
Because that's really what happens. We get angry and we just express it in everything.
Yes.
I mean, we express it on the kids. We express it on the dishes. We express it on the door. We do everything. I mean, some people got, we talked about one time, we know how people got, we come to your house and move some of your paintings and some of your walls.
That's a neat place for a picture.
Yeah, you put pictures certain places to hide the holes in the wall from when he hit the wall, or you threw something at the wall, and you got a picture set right there in the corner in a weird place.
Yeah, like why is that plant?
Yeah, you got to post up because you're hiding that hole in the wall. But you don't have to just be angry or have conflict and just have to be rude.
Right.
And that's foreign to the mind, though.
Yeah, it is.
Because if I'm angry, I'm supposed to show it. I'm supposed to lash out. I'm supposed to let you know I'm angry. I'm supposed to let you. I'm supposed to punish you.
You supposed.
And so that's a part of me punishing you by me acting a certain way towards you. And so my wife taught me that we can have conflict and there can be disagreement and everything, but you don't have to go and get mean and rude and be spiteful and hit those low blows and everything. And so that was an issue for me, because it was hard for me to just get over not being that way.
Right.
It was kind of rough,
Yeah.
And so it was.
No comment. No comment.
And so
no lies detected.
So that's what I want. I wanted to bring that out because it just hit my mind.
Yeah.
Because some of us we have those character issues. Some of us it's in our DNA to be that way. We've seen it that way for all our lives. That when our parents get angry at each other, they just let it go. They just let it rip, boy. And you can be upset at somebody, and you sometimes may not get the resolve you want or need right then. But it takes that being, it takes that loving one another and being patient with each other, and just that unified front to be like, okay, we ain't gonna get nothing out of this right now. Let's come back at it later. And so different times you would say, well, let's just deal with it later. And I'd be like, no, we're gonna deal with this now.
Yeah.
Let's deal with it now.
He was not the person to walk away.
Yeah, don't walk away from it. Let's deal with this thing.
He didn't walk away from an argument unless he decided to. It was not, it was not a mutual agreement, or I couldn't say, I need a timeout because, sometimes.
Then I'd be like, nah, we just face it. Don't run from it.
Yeah.
And so it was always something, and that's what we have to realize. That sometimes we do need to take a break, walk away from it, and go deal with it. Yeah. And then while you taking the break in marriage, or this happens, it can happen in any relationship. And after you take a break from that thing, so y'all can cool off and everything, and get your heads right, and then come back and deal with it.
Right.
You have to then learn, or have to make sure you be kind and still be nice and still treat each other like you love each other, while you're getting everything together.
You can be doing, it sounds bad, but you can be doing so well in an argument until you can forget that you actually do love each other, because you can not like somebody and you forget that, wait, this is the same person I said I do, and I love you, and ooh,
just the
honey,
other
baby.
day, boy, I love you, you forever, you're mine, this and that.
Eskimo
We
kisses,
just finished having the night of our life, all that different stuff, and I love you so much, woo, and then the 2 days, don't touch me. And I'm like, don't touch you. Come on, you never said that to me. You never said don't touch me. You never said don't touch me, or don't do that different stuff like that and everything. Because she always wanted me. That's what it was.
Okay. Anyway,
that's how it was in my mind, at least.
Yeah, right.
But in my mind, that's how it was, at least. But seriously, you get to that place to where you can get to that place to where you just forget that y'all love each other, that y'all are married, that y'all are for each other, that y'all got each other's back. Right. And then you start throwing low blows and hitting stuff and throwing these little snide remarks, and that's what we gotta really get out of us. That just being mean with the conflict. The conflict don't have to be to a place of a war, between you two. You can have that disagreement. You can have that intense fellowship, that heated discussion, without being mean with one another and being nasty with one another. And it takes you on purpose wanting to do that, though.
Right, because now you can't always. I can't say that all women, but a lot of the women that I have known, and I'm just speaking for myself, there are some things that I'm just not going to get over real fast, and so it's just best to not throw too many low blows, and I don't care what I said to you.
Take a lot to get yourself out.
I can't believe you said that to me. And and then that you got to learn how to live outside of the bedroom, y'all.
Because
I know y'all don't. Everybody anyone that's not married don't believe so. We're gonna stay in the bedroom forever.
Especially those Christians. Especially those Christians that ain't did it in the long. They've been living holy, so they done did it and everything, and so they ready to just have sex.
We don't need a reception.
We gonna do it. You I do. Okay, we'll see y'all at the reception. We gotta go take a thank you Jesus break and everything. But after the honeymoon's over and all that, you still got to deal with everyday life.
Yes.
And it's something that you got to grow. You got to grow in this thing. You can't just be the same. You was what were you just saying about? You remember what you were just saying?
Which part when I was saying you have to come out of the bedroom? I was saying how certain words, certain things you say. I don't bounce back from everything so well.
But see, a man, you be like, I said I'm sorry. It's been a day,
right?
Like and so fixed. You be like, okay. I forgave you, but still, I'm still trying to get over.
About it.
I'm still, trying to get over what you said to me. I'm trying to forget, and so it's those things that you got to watch it, brothers that's listening, watch what you say. Female, watch what y'all say to each other, because those low blows, women normally don't bounce back as quick normally as men. But now you got a lot of sensitive men out there too nowadays. Yeah. It's like nowadays you got some sensitive men and some hard women.
Yes.
Some of them like, man up. You be like, okay, true,
That was the one.
It was like back in the day, boy. You be like, you always think about the woman's the weaker vessel and this. Nowadays, women different, boy. It's different. They tell you to man up. They be telling you stuff. You like, okay, it's even out there in the world. They be like, we gonna do this or not. You be like, can we cuddle first or something? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, though, women as well as men, you say certain stuff. It's hard to get over sometimes.
It is.
And when you say those words, you gotta realize that it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
And you gotta sometimes give the people the time to overcome that.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I didn't want to do. I just want to say, okay, be right, be cool now. Okay, come on, let's get over this. And because
I wasn't hearing.
Yeah, because you think it takes a while for that. Words go deep,
Yeah, they do.
Words go deep, and you can wound somebody with words much worse than we can with your hands. And so remember, in your conflict, watch your words.
Yeah, you have
Watch
to.
your words. Your words are important. It's so important because that conflict is coming to really mess your marriage up. It's coming to to divide your marriage. And in a marriage, I mean, when you all supposed to be partners. If y'all not literal business partners, y'all supposed to be together working with one another. And because one of the things we wanted to let y'all know is you got to keep the unity. You got to keep the unity in your marriage. In any relationship, any working relationship, you got to keep the unity.
Yes.
And one of the things that in marriage with keeping the unity and with making sure you make sure you work with the conflict and everything. We wanted to hit a couple of things, and one of the things we wanted to talk about was how in marriage you need to have purpose or
Right.
some goals.
Yes.
You know, one of the things, God bless you. One of the things you gotta work on is when y'all married, y'all should have some goals.
Right.
There should be some things y'all are working towards.
Yeah.
Because
Even as a couple.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
No, it's talking about
as
as
a
a
couple.
marriage, you know.
Right.
Y'all should have some goals that y'all working toward because as you grow, when you working on your goals together, you grow together.
Right.
It help you grow more. You should have that time we have your some hobbies together. You know, as well as you have them personally. You got your personal goals and personal things that you have, and then you should have some goals in your marriage, and also you should have your personal hobbies because you know
Right.
sometimes you need space by yourself
Right.
to have fun, to do stuff, and then you need time where you and your wife need to have some hobbies, some things that you guys do, and you guys enjoy each other's time with, other than just the bedroom. You got to do something else. You know, go play tennis, go play volleyball, do something, play a game, whatever you do. But there should be purpose, and there should be goals, and there should be hobbies and recreation in your marriage, not just two people that got married and now y'all just working, living, raising kids.
Right.
And that's why a lot of marriages
There's a
look.
whole lot of that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's how a lot of them look. They look like that, just going to work. They go to work, come home, sit in front of the TV, and chill out and look at commercials. And at this time, y'all, we're gonna take ourselves a little break.
You think you smooth.
We're gonna try to segue into it good, but we're gonna take a little bit of a break. Don't go nowhere. This is Married with Benefits. Paul and Tara Thompson here, and we got some more good stuff to share with you. Do not go nowhere. See y'all in just a little bit.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
And we are back, Married with Benefits. The benefit of
Well,
my
it's like you're
marriage
gonna
is that
announce
I
a
am
race.
I am married to you. That's the benefit.
That's the benefit, baby.
That's the benefit of
Hey.
this marriage, that I'm married to
Yeah.
you.
The
He
most
that finds a wife
benefit
finds a good
brother
thing and
in
attains some favor. So yeah, but yeah, we talked about that. Go ahead. What you
I just want to remind everybody, help us win this contest now.
help us, please.
Send an email to radiowaveforyou@gmail.com and put Married with Benefits, put the show name or our names in the subject space, and then put your phone number, where the comments go, where the body of your email goes. Put your, you can put your name, you can put your phone number, give your info there. Let them know you are listening to the Thompsons. We love the Thompsons. I'm listening to Married with Benefits.
Yeah.
I love Mrs. Thompson more than Mr. Thompson.
Well, as long as they love us, that's long. As long as they love
I think
one
she's
of
so
us.
smart.
You
She
so
is
smart,
smart
you kind. But
and
yeah, so
important.
y'all go do that so we can win.
Right.
Yes, we want to be winners now, so we can win this thing. Like I said last week, we talked about conflict and we just talked about some other stuff and dealing with some things. How you can be nice in the midst of an argument. You can be nice in the midst of while you're going having some conflict in your marriage. But one of the things we just mentioned was that what help you grow together, and is when you really have goals in your relationship. We were saying that having a relationship that's centered, has some goals that's centered around some goals, some things you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
It calls you
have
to work
purpose.
together more. Give you
Right.
more purpose instead of just being married and just going through the motions just
Right.
because. But one of the things in when it comes down to conflict, when it comes down to unity in marriage, when it comes down to goals that we got to have that's a constant is this one word called
Say it.
communication.
That's it.
We have to
Dun,
have
dun,
communication.
dun.
And so many of us are, listen, don't be upset when I say it. So many of us are horrible communicators.
Yeah.
And for me to be to me, for part of my profession and calling in life is to communicate through the preaching and teaching of the
come
word, through radio and through all the different stuff.
Say it.
I have
Say
a
it.
problem with communication
There
in
you have it,
everyday
folks.
life. Sometimes, because
Yeah.
sometimes I just don't want to talk, don't feel like talking,
Right,
and just
right.
like I grunt more than talk.
Ooh,
but if I say whatever, and
getting older.
but the thing about it is you have to have good communication.
Yes. Yes. And communication now is not just your words.
No, I mean
So
no, it's not.
you're
only
communicating one way or the other with your body language, with your gestures, your facial expressions, your words, the lack thereof.
Yeah.
There's so many other ways, but it's good to be able to communicate. You need to know, first of all, how do you communicate, and what works well for each other, what the other person
because
needs.
when y'all communicating with each other,
Wait.
turn
Don't.
around.
You
should
just
be
being all
looking at
rough,
each other.
turning my chair.
Turn
Y'all see
around
that?
with me.
You see?
You should be, while somebody talking to you like this.
Right. Yeah, because see, I already get an attitude when he starts looking
Turn back around there. But you be
too
looking at each other
bossy.
talking, but you be making all the faces, and all of that then makes the other person don't even want to talk to you.
Right.
And then you
Or
get
get very
upset at somebody
defensive.
because they don't want to talk to you because your body language is communicating a bunch of stuff that is saying get away, leave me alone. I ain't
Yes.
receiving, I ain't listening right now. Because
Arms
remember,
folded.
yeah,
Says,
communication is
"Back
this.
off, I'm closed."
It's giving and receiving.
Yeah.
Communication is you give
Yeah.
you talk to me
Uh-huh.
and I listen.
Uh-huh.
Hold on now. You hear what I said? You talk to me and I listen.
Right.
Not you talk to me and I'm just waiting for you to take a pause or a break
So
I can hurry up and say what I gotta say. That's what a lot of
Oh.
communication is. But then we try to get our stuff
Right.
in all the time. Do you hear like do
Yes.
you be in a room with 3 or 4 people and everybody's trying to communicate and everybody just waiting for a pause so they can say what they gotta say?
Right.
But listen, our problem is we don't listen. We need to be better listeners, and you'd be surprised how much you can change stuff by listening. Part of your communication is listening.
Yes.
It is part of the communication is listening. Not only do you see, because put it like this: if you want me to listen to you, you should do me the courtesy of at least listening to me.
Right.
You want me to give you my undivided attention and not be texting or looking at my phone while I'm talking to you. if that's how you want me to be,
somebody just lost
then,
it right there.
then you have to do that for me.
Yeah.
Now, now we're in the day now, everybody be multitasking. They be on the phone,
goodness.
and all that type of stuff. But it's important that we listen. So communication is giving and receiving.
Yes.
That you letting the other one talk. And not only in marriages, it works in life. You gotta be quiet and let the other person talk, because then you can get an understanding. And our problem is, here's a good one. Our problem is, instead of us seeking to understand, we seek to be understood. And the more you seek to be understood, the less you will understand the other person. So in communicating with one another, the job, my goal is, I want to find out what's in your mind, what's in your heart. What is it that you want to communicate to me? But I can't find that out if I keep jabbering back at you, and if I'm just like, if I'm cut off, or if all I'm thinking about is my comeback.
Yeah.
Or what I'm gonna say.
Listening to respond.
And so, you listen so you can say,
Only so you can.
So that means you got to get that
You
clap
said
back
what?
mentality up out of your head. So don't be trying to clap back at your partner all the time. Okay, put it like this. Take all of that stuff there. I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the women,
There's two of them.
doing all this.
This one with the
they lift their
fingers.
hands up, they making all these faces. I look stupid
And
doing
then
it.
there's
But
it's
but
not
yeah,
you.
it's just like, I look stupid doing all this.
don't
I'm trying
do
to do
it.
it. Yeah, I ain't gonna do it.
Turn
Man,
off.
I look bad. But we need to get out of the mentality of the clap back mentality.
Right.
Of telling you off mentality when it comes down to
Yeah.
our spouse. Especially when it comes down to our spouse. Because we should be listening to understand the person.
Yes.
Yeah. Go
That
ahead, what
is
you gotta
true.
say?
And
That communication.
that communication, because sometimes you can be sitting there and say, how many times have I said, what? I didn't say anything, but I communicated something, and I didn't say anything with my words. I didn't release any words, but I said something, and I still communicated something to you, and then I try to act like I don't. Now I don't do that now. I'm just saying, not a lot anyway.
But
Don't look at me like
communication.
that. This is the no judgment zone.
With your eyes, when you
Right,
your
yeah.
eyes, everything.
Yes.
And so in marriage, in relationship, you have to communicate well.
Right.
You have to be not only communicate well, you have to be willing to communicate.
Oh.
You have to be willing to hear one another. You have to be willing to listen. That means that communication. Listening means I really have an honest, sincere love and desire to find out how can I help you out, or how can I understand you more in this situation, because that will bring less conflict.
Yeah. Well,
Bring so much. There'll be so much more peace. There'll be so much if we just learn to listen and understand one another. We can help deal with one another. We can help work with one another. We can help work each other through stuff.
Yeah.
And
that's
communication is so important when it comes down to reaching your goals as in your marriage.
Yeah.
Because no one likes to be in the dark about stuff.
Right.
I'm the man. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna want to do. No, that's not how it's supposed to be. Y'all supposed to communicate one to another.
Right.
Y'all supposed to be one. It's a give and take. It's 100. Y'all come towards each other. Whatever type of relationship you're in, your communication is going to be the pulse of your marriage or your relationship, because however you communicate, the communication will either bring the tension or stop the tension.
Right.
It will bring the conflict or stop the conflict. Yeah. It will give you a good 9 p.m. or a bad 9 p.m.
Right.
It's going to help you out, because in tough times, I'm not even in conflict and like you fussing, but when you're having a rough time, when times are tight, you got financial tough times, you got things going on with the children. Communication is so key. You got to learn how to communicate through all of that, because that helps you. Remember, lack of communication will cause more anger. On both, because everybody be frustrated.
Right.
Because nobody knows what's going on.
And that's a frustrating thing when you are trying to, and sometimes, just lighten up on each other. Don't give each other such a hard time, because just because they're not saying it the way you want it, or the way that how you feel like you really need it, remember, it's still supposed to be some give and take, not just take. And you have to, so lighten up on the other person, because that's frustrating to feel like you are not understood. So you always, put yourself. Now, I know it sounds easy saying these things when you're sitting down and you're logically, you've written down the notes and you're going over it logically. But when the situation comes up, oh my goodness, you have to make these choices, right there on the spot. And sometimes it's not always, if it's not like second nature to you, or if it ain't first nature or second, for some of you it is unheard of.
You have to do it on purpose.
So you have to. That's where
Work
we go
at it.
back to those
You gotta work at it.
those rules of engagement.
Yeah.
That you gotta understand. You gotta know. Okay, remember to do this. Okay, I gotta remember to do that. I've had to go and look at notes, and sometimes go away from him and go somewhere and look at stuff that I wrote down and say, okay, remember to be this way. Don't be that way, Tara. Don't be that way. And it's like, but he said, I want to be. He deserved for me to be this way, or I should be understood. Woe is me. And don't always be the victim. Oh my gosh, because that just becomes irritating to the other person if you're always a victim. Everybody has the opportunity to look at themselves as the victim, but choose to just choose to not be a victim sometime. And because victims are terrible in relationships, they
Yeah.
are horrible.
You finished?
Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it sounded like I wasn't waiting for the pause. I wanted to understand you, what you were saying.
You wanted to understand.
But
I
that
appreciate
word
that so much.
communication, here's the word in there, to commune. You should have some type of communing to other
Yeah.
than just, sometimes the best communication is when you're doing something you enjoy. You walking around. You go down here in Indy. We got the little paddle boats down there on the canal.
I know.
Just talking,
on those
just
boats in a
just
while.
communing, just spending time with one another.
Right.
And it's hard to have communication if you're not spending the proper time together. And a lot of times we in life don't take time. We got to take time and make communication something on purpose. For instance, you shouldn't at night you should go to bed not having a bunch of stuff in the air all the time. I always say something like, okay, before I go, sometimes I gotta go to sleep early,
Yeah.
because I gotta get up real early, and so I'll be like, I'll be all right. I'm going upstairs, get ready for bed and everything, and I'll try to wait for you and everything, just in case we need to communicate about some stuff
Yeah.
that happened that day, or that we want to do the next day, or some problems, or whatever happens happened during the time of that day of your day in your life. We need to take time to communicate. In communication, you'll find out if you look at your life, you'll find out your life can be so busy. Most of our lives are busy doing nothing. Literally,
Yeah,
A lot of
of
us
the
we're
time,
just
yeah.
busy doing stuff, but we're not productive at all.
That's
You know,
right.
if you wrote down,
It is
if you
true, it is
kept a
true.
ledger of what things you to get accomplished that day, and you'll realize how much stuff you really do not get accomplished. How we really just go through the motions, and most of the things we accomplish during the day normally for regular everyday people is work. We accomplish work because we got to go to work because
Yeah.
we got to get some money to live, and so we'll go to work. But in our personal life, we have to make sure we're productive in our personal life. We got to be productive in our marriage. We got to be productive in our when it comes down to our relationships. And so that means you have to, on purpose, make time to communicate.
Right.
And you may don't make it a chore. But you remember back in the day, in the old school days, we had communication around the dinner table.
Yes.
But everybody, we don't eat dinner like we used to eat dinner in the old days.
Right,
Everybody, just not Leave the Beaver and everything. Just not, just not even Good Times. Where we Thelma and all of them sitting around the table
Thelma.
and everything, and Michael and what's that man named the
militant
father?
James.
Yeah, James tell about the horrible firing he had or some bad thing that happened in his life and everything. And
His
but
25
they'll be in the
jobs
kitchen
and-
working together sometimes. But they sat at the table though. They
Yes.
sat at the table to eat. And so throughout the years, you know, when I was younger, we sat at the table and ate. When our younger kids, as they, you know, the younger ones, we just sit at the table and eat, you know, and all of a sudden as time went on, now we get
Everybody's
the tray,
something on the
we
go
sit at the TV,
and-
or we go over here and eat, or
Yes.
we go, and so everybody's on the go doing stuff, and everybody's doing that. So now that common time we used to have, that everybody will communicate about
not
what happened at
always
school, what happened in life, that's not there no more. So
Right.
we end up spending our day, and we got so many things to occupy our time.
Oh.
We got social
Everybody's at the
media,
table with
you
their
know.
phone
Yeah, we
or
got
a
social
tablet.
media. We got TV, of course. We got people doing this and people doing that. We got stuff we want to do here, and then we busy with life. We got so many. You know,
Yes.
I'm not knocking against school. Excuse me, but you get, you know, we figure out, hey, I
people
want
are-
to go to school.
Yeah, some people are professional
then
students.
You got school, you got kids, you got you got husband, you got wife, you got some type of relationship you in,
Yes.
and you just busy.
Yeah.
And most of us are busy doing stuff, trying to just go through life, and we tired. And at the
Yeah.
end of the night, we don't feel like communicating. We don't
Right,
feel like
we're
doing nothing
exhausted.
and everything, because we done gave everybody our all in all.
Yeah.
And the people that we need to give our best to, we giving our worst.
That's right.
Because we gave
They
our
get the
best.
leftovers.
We gave our best to the man. You know, we gave our best to your
that
job.
job,
You gave
uh-huh.
your best to everything else. And now we getting the leftovers. And we got to
Yeah.
reverse that.
Yeah.
And we have to on purpose give everybody our best.
Yes.
But we need to really give our
Our spouse and our
spouses,
family.
our families, our significant
We
other.
need to give
our-
ourselves.
yeah, the best.
sometime. Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
you need time. And
Yes,
so
you do.
so one of the things you got to work on in our relationships is this time element of getting time, not just time together just for a vacation, but by the time the vacation comes, your marriage may be so damaged that you may not go. You know, don't even
Right,
want to go
you're
on
going
vacation.
on a staycation.
And so here's this word. I'm gonna use this one word right here. Daily. Y'all hear me? Daily. That means
Daily.
every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day you need to talk. Every day you need to have something you're talking about.
Right.
You need it every day.
Remember when you're dating and you stayed on the
You
phone?
fell asleep on
you
the
would fall
phone. You
asleep
used
on
to
the
call me and get on my
phone,
nerves, and I used to be like, oh, she called me again. No,
You know what? Okay, we're about to need another break.
Oh,
I
Lord.
forgot y'all could see. That'd be funny. Forget they could see us.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not a phone person. But I tell you what, when he was pursuing me, he was on the
Yeah,
phone.
I had my best Mac on. I was I was spitting some game.
Yes.
And everything, and you do that when you're courting. You
Right.
talking, you talking about stuff, and sometimes you ain't talking about nothing.
Nothing
or
at
whatever.
all.
And then some you have those moments of silence. You just breathing. What you doing now?
Listen to his breath.
You be like, you know, you
Breathing so
remember
sexy.
you'll be on the phone. You be like, well, what you doing now? I'm about to go look in the refrigerator and find something to eat. What you
Yeah,
eat?
take the phone with you.
Yeah, you
Remember
like-
before there were cordless phones?
You remember, but we had a
Oh,
long
we had that-
cord.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know my dad.
Those long cords.
Yes.
And so
You could
so
walk all
yeah.
over the house.
But you want to
With
be
that
with each other and
landline.
communicate so much. You be like, what you gonna do? I'm going to the refrigerator to get to see what's in there. What you gonna look for? I don't know. I'm gonna see if we got some of this. I don't want nothing to hear. What you gonna eat? I want some chips. What type of chips are they? And
Yes.
and it's just you just communicating.
Now you don't.
Now you don't communicate. Now
Yeah.
you don't. We don't even talk no more.
Sing.
Okay,
baby.
all right, but I will sing, but I don't want to.
It's okay. We don't want to.
You know,
want
I
to
may
sit
get,
nothing
I may
off.
get, somebody may see me or hear me. I get
Singing
a
is like
contract.
a dog whistle.
But we don't talk like we should daily.
Was I misbehaving?
You know, we need to have
Look,
we need
is
to
that
have
wrong?
we need to have times that we talk on, you know, regularly.
Right.
You know, even if sometimes you just really don't get no deep, you don't have to get into deep conversations all the time. Just having the daily communication of what's on your mind. And even when it comes down to something that's bothering you that I did or that she did, or something
I don't do anything that's irritating, though.
You
But
want
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know, you don't do nothing at all.
Nothing.
And you don't want to let that fester. So
Right.
you want to now watch this though. You want to open up your marriage for communication.
Yeah.
That I can talk to you about whatever we need to talk about. Some people don't like. There's certain stuff that I be like, I don't want to talk to her about it because I know it's gonna be her little trigger. So I gotta. So the thing about it is, you remember when Bishop Dixon and them we had that marriage thing and they talk about humoring how we,
yes.
know, and so they what you mean? The man need to humor the woman and
Oh
everything.
my goodness,
and so,
that was a bad word to use. Do not.
but
yeah.
you need to But instead of I don't want to get into no trouble, so I won't say I need to humor you,
Right.
but I need to understand you,
Yes.
and understand and be courteous of your feelings
Yes.
and everything. And when it comes down to certain
Yes, you
subjects
should.
that we talk about. And so
Right.
instead of me just saying, just blurting it out, saying blah, 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 I need to come and approach it to the right way.
Right.
That we're open for communication, but at the same time, you know how people say you need to come to me correct, you still
Yeah.
need to come in
You
a
can step to
certain
me
way.
right.
And everything, because don't go to somebody, you can't go to somebody offensively, and then when they get back offensive at you, you all upset. You can't do that.
Right.
So it's important that you have that space to talk about stuff.
Right.
And don't let stuff fester. And everything.
Right, that's the give and take part. If you want a person to engage with you and to interact with you, then you have to give them something to work with.
Yeah.
And it can't just be about you. It's got to be about both of you. And unfortunately, some people have not learned, some people don't learn that and realize what they need until the marriage is over. And then they learned what not to do.
Our
and they
goal
take it to the
is
next
to
marriage.
our goal is to catch you before you go to the
Right,
divorce court.
right,
That
right.
that our goal is to catch
Ooh.
you before you call it off,
Right,
and don't
yeah.
get married. Our goal is to try to catch you before you go, so that you can work this thing out. You know
know what all of that is like,
okay,
too.
divorce papers. You hear this word saying like irreconcilable differences.
Right.
That means two people couldn't communicate and wasn't able and willing to get along and their
And
wheels
reconcile.
couldn't get together.
They couldn't come into agreement.
Nope.
They
And that's
couldn't.
what marriage is all about, agreement.
Yeah, agreement.
Because
it's an agreement.
in communication, you have to yield. You have to learn that you got to yield to one another. You got to commute, because you're not going to want to communicate with me if every time you communicate with me, it does nothing.
Right, exactly. That's
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
All of a sudden, you'd be like, well, why don't you talk to me about it? I remember I heard you say this before. I have, but you didn't do nothing about it. Or I have before and everything. And I'd be like, well, when? I don't remember. And so, but that if
Oh,
you don't,
my goodness,
so when it
yes.
comes down to communicating,
Right.
if the person that's communicating, whatever they're communicating to you, if they feel like it's not getting nowhere, if they feel like they that you're not listening, if they feel
Right.
like it's just gonna be just throwing, as they say, casting your pearl on swine, they're not gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Or if you get mad every time, they're not gonna want to talk to you,
Right,
and then you don't talk to me no more, and that's the reason why.
You also need to remember what the other person, what examples they had around them, because that's very important too. Because we grew up in two totally different households. With our parents were totally different types of people, and so that that explains a lot as
Yeah.
well. So that's where, and I see one of our viewers, Sister Daphne, was saying, no cursing and yelling, please. And that's where we're talking about last week, those rules of engagement. You have to have those boundaries.
Yeah.
You got to set up boundaries. That's a good thing. You'd be like, so what do we do when we're alone? What do we talk about? You better talk about, first of all, don't even waste your time if the person is not even, if they cannot be considered a possible match. Why are you wasting your time? You're just practicing for divorce. You're just gnawing on somebody's flesh just to dispose of them when you get tired of them or they get tired of you. No, just don't waste your time. Your time is too valuable, and
You
so
talk
is
about
theirs.
if they're not married.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't
So-
talk to them before you marry,
Right, then
you
yeah.
get married, it's
and
a wrap.
you need to have to set up those boundaries and say, okay, first of all, don't be yelling and cursing at me. You got to set that, because it's kind of hard to set boundaries in conflict. You have to set up those rules
It
of
has to be
engagement
before, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got just a little bit of time.
How
So
much time?
we're down to like 4 or 5.
Around 5 minutes. Well, at least Dougie Fresh has 6
I know
minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. You're on. Oh, anyway, you gotta be saved. We gotta be saved. Remember, we're pastors. Hold on, stop. We're pastors. Stop now. All right. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. No,
Hallelujah.
but seriously, so it's important to communicate
Right.
but it's important for you all to actually listen to each other, and then for you to do something with the communication.
Right.
Because
Can we give them the other two next week?
yeah,
We'll do that.
you got because you can talk all day long,
Right.
but each other, you both have to be willing
Yes.
to listen And listen to this word, and I'm gonna stop right here and adapt.
Oh, you just
Ooh.
cursed at somebody.
Yeah, because folks,
You
we don't
just
want to
cussed.
adapt.
Right.
This is how I am.
Right. Oh, we say that in everything.
This is just me.
This is me.
And
You're gonna have to
you'd be
take,
surprised.
take it or leave it.
The you that you're talking about, you'd be surprised, is the you that's been
Come on.
molested, that's
The
been
you,
beat up, that's been divorced,
damaged,
that's been damaged, and all of that is on top of that. This is me.
Right.
That's
So it's not
yeah.
you.
That's
That ain't how
covering
you
up the
were
true
born.
you. That's your experience and your fear talking,
Oh.
not the true you
That's
and everything. So we have to learn to adapt and
Yes.
and be flexible. And,
Blessed are
you
the
know,
flexible, for
yeah,
they
we
shall
have to.
be flexed.
We have to, because that's what it's all about.
Yes, it is. Yes,
working
it
with
is.
one another. Because hey, one of the benefits of being married is that you should be able to be open with one another,
Right.
and they not take
Huh.
that and hurt you, and
Yeah. Oh, my
everything.
goodness.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, openness. We got to put that.
Start adding to the list.
Yeah, it's for next week.
Now I got
Be
something
open.
else to work
But
on.
so we pray that you was blessed by
Yeah, we hope
our
this is-
discussion on
We
today.
hope this is helping somebody. We hope these little pointers. Listen, like we said, we're telling you real stuff that before we ever thought we were going to be broadcasting together or doing anything, this is the stuff we actually had to sit down and talk with each other, and this is how it's always been. We didn't always like what the other person had to say, but we had to learn, and we are still learning. We're still on a journey, so it gets to be kind of fun after a while.
Yeah, and so
When you don't feel like you have to defend yourself, and that feels good.
Yep. And so we want you to get all that you can get and enjoy it and enjoy, have a good old life in your marriage and your relationship. So
It should get better, not
don't
worse.
forget to make sure you tune in next week,
right.
Thursday at 5 to 6, and to the program. And don't forget, for you all that want to hear some good preaching and good singing, y'all check us out on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock on Facebook. And we're going to be putting it
Yes.
on the YouTube at Paul and Tara Thompson, and on GHCC Indy, the church YouTube page. And so make sure you check us out and stay connected and see what's going
Yes.
on. You know.
Don't forget to email at radiowaveforyou at gmail.com, and put up there, the Thompsons or Married with Benefits in the comments. Make sure you put your cell phone number or your phone number, however you can be reached. And because we want to begin to, they're going to be keeping up with you and keep you abreast of everything that's going on with us and keep you updated. And so that's a good way to start following us, and we'll be following you. So we've got, there's so many different incentives. We've got contests and stuff going on that's even going to be good for some of you. So you're going to win some good stuff. So you want to make sure you share this with somebody. Let somebody know you need to be listening to the Thompsons.
Yep. Share it. And we love it. We
Yes.
love you. We thank God for you.
Yes, we
and
do.
my wife gonna sign out with her favorite saying.
The blessed life is the best life.
There you go. See y'all.
That's it. Peace. Peace.
Audio Jungle.